So in 2.5 weeks, I will be officially divorced. Um, you know, I'm excited about it. I mean, all the memories and everything, all the pain that I went through when I first left, because of the domestic violence, just the toxicity of the marriage. Of course, there's a lot of pain involved with it, but really, it's like I'm looking forward to the freedom. It's the final freedom in terms of legality, and I get to move on with my life. And I know a lot of people don't recover, I guess, from divorce. They're scarred or whatever. And I'm not going to say that I don't have scars from any, either of my marriages, because in both marriages, I had good memories and bad. But this time here, I'm really going to have a sense of freedom, and that's overwhelming to me. It's overwhelming in a good way. It brings tears to my eyes, like tears of joy, because to me it's a celebration. I survived something incredible, something horrific, and I didn't think that I would live this long because of the way things were. And it sounds like such a contradiction, when I talk about the domestic violence video, but this is 11 months later after leaving, and going through counseling and getting various types of help, and just the reality of the circumstance, of that, I would have ended up dead or maimed or something. Domestic violence takes something from a person anyway. Innately it does. But yeah, I dread having to go to court. I'm so tired of having to go to court around this man that it's not even funny. But, and he's not somebody that I even want to see. I don't want to see him. I hope he's not there. I have, nothing to say. There's nothing to discuss. Nothing. I just want to go and do what I need to do and get it over with. If he is there, I have nothing to say to him. It was something that never should have been. We had no business together at all. And that's the truth, we had no business together at all. And the fact that we had married twice, things happen. People remarry, and sometimes it turns out to be a wonderful thing, and other people it turns out to be tragic. And in my case, it was very tragic. But I'm looking forward to the freedom of it. I'm not free from the memories of, the domestic violence. That's going to take a lot of time. But I've obtained a lot of freedom in spite of. And I've overcome a lot of things that I take pride in. I'm vaping again. I should do a video about vaping and e-cigarettes. But for now, this is, about the divorce. It'll be an emotional thing for me in that, not because I'm going to miss him, because those days are long gone. I stopped missing him before it ended. When I realized, what was what, I stopped missing him when I was with him. So, and that sounds like a contradiction, but I hadn't let go, where now I have. So, there's the difference, and I want to be free, because I believe that there is somebody out there that is really right for me, and that's going to bring the fulfillment that I deserve, and that I'm going to bring the fulfillment that he's been looking for, that person, that he's been looking for. And I don't know. I dreamt last night, that he came back to me and asked me that he somehow contacted me and asked me to come back to him, and I told him no. Claimed that he still loved me, and I had said, you still love me. I was laying in the hospital with an abscess in my arm, and I had to threaten to leave you to get you to come see me. You still love me. You have the audacity to sit there and tell me that you still love me. When I had to do that, when you had cellulitis in your leg or an infection of any sort, surgery, I was there by your side. When I had that abscess in my arm, I went through that completely alone. And, those kinds of things, when you love somebody, those are the kind of things that you make sacrifices for. It's give and take, and I love giving, but I don't like being taken, if that makes any sense, and I feel like that's what happened. I gave and gave, and I got taken. And there's been some valuable lessons learned in it. There are things about this that I will take with me into future relationships or friendships or whatever, and then there are certain things about this that will be left behind permanently. I don't ever want to go through this again. If I remarry, I'm not seeing anybody now. Since all this, I wasn't cheating on him while we were together. But I got a little bit of a cold here. My nose is running. It's a little chilly. But I lost my train of thought. I really did. I was talking about, not cheating on him, not being with anybody now. But when the time comes, just having the freedom to know that I will have the option to be with whomever I want. And that I have the option to be selective because I'm not an unattractive woman. And as I said, my reason for not showing my face has more to do with safety than anything else. You know, it's not that I'm ashamed of my appearance, because I take very great pride in who I am and how I look and everything. But, you know, it's about anonymity, and, you know, this is more documentary than anything. And that's why. There are a lot of documentaries out there where the person's face is hidden, you know, shadowed out or whatever. So I would hope, you know, eventually, I would hope one day I would eventually be able to show my face on certain public media, social media. But for right now, no. But to be single and have that option, you know, you can be married with somebody and feel just as alone and empty and unwanted and everything. Just as you would, you know, when you're single laying in bed alone. You can lay next to somebody and be just as alone and empty inside. So, and those are the things that I felt a lot of the time. My husband was very cold and a pathological liar. Cold, calculating, and a liar. And he viewed me as the same, but yet, you know, I gave and did a lot of things that it was, you know, when I tried to take control back, you know, take back control of my life, that he saw me as mean and evil or whatever, you know, but there's nothing mean or evil about trying to regain control over your life, or about standing up for yourself, or about expressing yourself. But I'm not here to bash him or put it, you know, that's just, you know, that's not what this says, you know. It's just the freedom of what happened then. I know the divorce will be the end of us legally, and that opens other doors for me. Doors that I haven't even looked opened. You know, there are doors that have a lot of unknowns behind them. But, you know, I'd rather deal with unknowns and be divorced than to be separated, not divorced, and being in familiarity. You know, it's no thank you. So that's where I'm at. You know, I'm looking forward to that. It's the last court date that I have pertaining to him, and you know, whomever, friendships, anything, I will be so careful and so selective in who I choose to allow into my life in any way. Out of everything bad, something good comes. And I guess this is it. This has been a valuable lesson for me, the hard way. And that has to do with my being stubborn. Maybe I was a glutton for punishment at the time. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I can speculate, though. But nonetheless, the freedom is around the corner.